Hey everybody, welcome to another recap of The Amazing Race, and the recap cat is here. Alright, and he's leaving. Last week, Mark and Bopper were saved. They're back this week. I guess it would have messed up the production schedule if they didn't save them, so they kind of bent it a little bit, I think, but it's neither here nor there. Alright, so they were in India and they're staying in India. They have to head over to a temple. Sans shoes, because it's not respectful to approach the priest with your shoes on. So did you happen to catch the lion guys in the background? They were freaking awesome. Thank God they had masks on. No one wanted to see what was attached to that. Alright, Mark is holed up in the room that they have to wait in for their mandatory rest period, and he's hooked up to an IV. He was really messed up from dancing in the sun, the full sun, for like hours. So he's pretty messed up. This leg contains a fast forward. So Rachel and Brendan, I couldn't think for a minute. I think I have heat stroke. Brenshall tried to go for the for the fast forward, but guess what? It was shave yo head. And Rachel says, Brendan, I can't do it. I paid $500 for extensions, and I'm not pretty with no hair. I have to have big hair to balance out my big nose. She knows. She knows what looks good on her and what does not look good on her. So I think that was probably a pretty good decision not to shave her head. So the next stop, mats and matting, and that's a roadblock. You have to spin rope like Rumpelstiltskin out of coconut husks. 40 feet of it to be exact. Then you have to get 4 pre-spun ropes and put them on a spool. And Vanessa said Ralph was one of the few of her boyfriends who did not cross-dress. What? Something wacky going on there. Something wacky. Alright, so the spinning of the rope really was harder than they made it look. Those ladies were professionals, obviously, and it was hard. And when they had to put it on the spool, the handle that you hold was basically just a nail, and it hurt everybody's hands. It was tearing them up. So after the roadblock, Vanessa and Ralph are running to the next clue, and she wipes out because she twists her ankle. Actually, she said she had a screw in her ankle and she thought she heard a pop, but I guess it was only twisted. That looked painful. I think she was lucky though, because her boobs broke her fall and she just got a little bit of road rash on her shoulder, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. She could have totally knocked out all of her teeth if their boobs weren't... Her boobs were like car airbags. They saved her. Alright, so Art and JJ were playing some head games at the roadblock with Rachel. They were like, excuse me, you should have gone for the fast forward because now Mark and Bopper are going to go for it and you're going to be eliminated. Did you actually think that they were going to go back and, you know, have her shave her head? It wasn't going to happen. They were like a minute behind you. Not going to happen. Alright, but I guess it was worth a shot, right? In desperation. So you had to find the barber under the ancient tree. There's probably a million ancient trees there. Weird. But it was a detour. It was either pachyderm or pack-a-box. Pachyderm, you had to decorate an elephant and then move out 15 wheelbarrows full of poop. Elephant poop. Or pack a box, and that was pack up 10 boxes of fresh ginger for export. Well, the next part of the race, well, Mark and Bopper are finally back in the race. And the first thing that they had to do was the speed bump, and that was to paint a tiger face on one of those dancing lion guys. I thought they were lions, but apparently they were tigers. I don't know. Lions and tigers, no bears, oh my. That was kind of fun. They had a good time doing it, and then they headed right to the fast forward. So on the detour, though, everyone ended up choosing elephants except for Art and JJ. because that was pretty stupid to choose the ginger thing. It's a lot of work. I mean, seriously, don't you guys think it would be easier to decorate an elephant and like just wheel over some barrels of poop? Anyhow, the next pit stop was just one short ferry ride away, and Rachel and Dave made it there first, and they won $10,000 each. They actually tried to bribe the ferry boat captain to like get that ferry moving so that Rachel and Rachel and Brendan and Vanessa and Ralph would miss it. I don't know if he actually agreed to it or it was just time for the ferry to leave, but they did actually just miss it by like a minute. And then Brendan and Rachel came in second and Vanessa and Ralph came in third, almost at the same time. So they were on the mat and Phil sensed the tension and he asked them some questions, and yes, Vanessa's got a problem with letting things go. And Rachel's like, why are you starting stuff on the mat? They kind of made up, but not really. You know, it was a let me pat you on the back with a knife kind of thing. It's never going to happen. They're never going to be besties. Let's just face it. All right, Art and JJ, they minorly squeaked in just before, well, that's what the editing looked like anyway, before Mark and Bopper, who did do the fast forward, and it wasn't such a big deal because, number one, they're guys, and number two, Mark was already bald. So they squeaked in, they cried their eyes out like little bitches on the mat. Even, you know, one of them cut their hands during the ginger challenge. Oh, it was just pouring out. They're having all kinds of troubles. Blood, sweat, and tears, they said, but they did come in fourth, so you know what that means, guys. Probably one of the sweetest teams ever. Mark and Bopper were eliminated, which really sucked because I was really kind of rooting for them. I felt bad for them. I mean, you know, their family situations and everything. But they went out as a class act with a great attitude, and I freaking love those guys. So I'm sure they'll be making many appearances. Maybe they'll be getting some donations. You know, good luck to them. I really like them. And I'm sure all of you guys did too, because I know you left it in the comments that, you know, you liked them. You liked them. Next time, oh my God, can it be the 2-hour finale already? It just seems like we started the Amazing Race and now it's almost over. Well, it's the final 4 and it looks quite exciting because somebody's on the final mat and trying to get in to win, and they've made a colossal mistake and they have to go back and finish the roadblock. What? Who could it be? Oh my God, it's so crazy. We'll just have to wait till next week and then all will be revealed. Till then, much love.